and good afternoon to another episode of Claire Haire. I will be doing an episode today about the review of the Haire Tales. Don't forget to subscribe and share. The Haire Tales is basically a produced show by Tracee, Ellis, Ross. Of course, here she is. So the first episode is going to be Oprah and her experiences, often duplicated, never imitated. You can never reciprocate it. The Oprah Winfrey. So I like how they're opening up with the series with her because I feel like she's just so, she's just so iconic in her own right. I know some people are just like, oh my God, they're celebrities. I was like, hey, I didn't say worship her. Hey, I said she's iconic in her own right. And what's more iconic is definitely her hair. I feel like her hair is like, has a mind of its own, and not in a bad way, but it has more like it's its own identity. I feel like who is Oprah without her hair? Not to say that she can't do anything without hair, but it's just that like her hair has just been so iconic since I've known her. We're going to talk about the wet look. Now, the wet look is something that I feel like this is how we delineate between who has type 4 and type 3. The wet look will never work for type 4. Now, I'm going to talk about the wet look as in the wash and go. You see how many steps there are? I think there's less steps in how to change a tire. Like, I feel like wash and go is a myth. I feel like wash and go is basically denial. Your hair is just going to tangle. It's just controlled tangleness to me. I feel like something like it was just always frustrating growing up, like going to the pool. Because even with Oprah Winfrey had said, even when she would go to the pool, she knows that if she just had her hair set and blow dried, she couldn't do anything with it. And this is what my hair looks like. Number one, when I was transitioning, but number two, that's what my hair looks like. You're not gonna get these beach waves that they say fresh from the ocean. Like number two is how my hair look like. Even number three, but number four is usually where I can tell what type of hair protection people have. And like I said, like it's not to sit there and say you shouldn't be jealous, because some people are like, oh well, you should have your own confidence where you don't, but you don't know how frustrating it is. Everybody else's hair does number four. Our hair is the only texture that does everything else. And I know some people will sit there and be like, oh, okay, well, that's not really important. It's like, yes, it is. When you want to be accepted and they don't have products, like our hair grows up, so I can definitely say like our frustration is like our need to have for a certain look. The wet look was very trending for a while because a lot of people wanted that look, but as well as this hairstyle as well. This is pivotal because this is when Oprah Winfrey basically got fired for not what you think. People thought she was being disrespectful, which I don't like that the media changed that, but she was fired for her hair. They said that her hair was messing with the chroma key, was messing with the green screen. And, I use chroma key a lot, but she went to go get a perm forced into getting a perm at this salon. And some of the top ingredients in relaxer, sodium hydroxide, bicarbonate, like all these things, like, does that sound like something you should put on your scalp, especially your tender scalp? Like she said, all her hair fell out and she only had scabs holding her hair together. And I understand exactly what she means. That's the main reason why you will never see me go relaxer. I will shave my head. Baby, before I ever go back to relaxer. I had them back to back, and one thing too that I felt like Oprah Winfrey did a really good job of saying is just that like we're more similar than I thought. She was doing a report and she saw that she's about to report on a story, and she saw that a black woman had her hair in rollers. Yes, Monique. She had her hair in rollers, not a bonnet. And she was like, can you take them out? And I know exactly what that feels like, because there's been plenty of times where like I'm out somewhere and I see a black woman, and if I feel like her crown's falling a little bit, I'll lift it up. And it sucks that we're not allowed to be regular. Like she knows that with that roller set, immediately her whatever she has to say, they're going to see her as uneducated, unkempt, and as well as valuable for them to be disrespectful to. So she already knew, like with the rollers, something as simple as a roller set, because like even with me, like I find myself being self-conscious with that as well, that when I go outside the house, I just can't go to the store like I just woke up. I need to look presentable at all times. So that's why I said let's go back in history, because like I said, history has a tendency to repeat itself if we don't learn the lesson the first time. So Madam C.J. Walker, I was so happy I finally found a picture of her in color, but she's the one who invented the relaxer, the no lie, the stronger version, but she's one who invented the relaxer. And I know some people who see her as kind of like an enemy towards natural hair. I was like, you got to understand, they did what they could with what they had. And they had so many other issues to fight against that they were just like, let's just find a way to conform. The wigs don't fit because, like Oprah, I also have a 24-inch measured head. The wigs don't fit. The humidity keeps humiditying, So she's like, we got to find a way to get in the workforce. And it got to the point where being a hairdresser was actually a viable source of income. So I felt like that was very important to tell in the episode, that I really like that they pressed on that. Not to be funny, that they pressed on that was the fact that, like, they did what they could with what they had. And I can say overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. I can definitely say I learned a new word today, E.W.A, emergency weave assistant. Basically, that's what happened when Oprah was on a trip in the middle of the ocean and her half wig or something got locked together where it would dry and then it would lock more. So I can definitely say E.W.A is what I'm going to start saying now. But this was definitely, for sure, this was after she recovered from the traumatic experience, because it is trauma, from getting a improperly done relaxer, which I say 80% of the time is being applied incorrectly. But I like that they made this series. I'm ready to review the second one for Issa. I love me some Issa. But I definitely feel like it gave us insight. Because like I said, Oprah has always been this big conglomerate of media. And a lot of people don't understand that she was you at one point, like 22 years old, trying to figure out life and just focusing on her craft. But unfortunately, they were more pressed about her appearance, with them saying she should get plastic surgery. Her eyes are too far apart. She just needs to do something about that nose. And I'm just like, if you just have just said you need to just not be you, just say that so we can all stop wasting our time. But I like the fact that this series is here for representation. If anybody find out who this model's name is, please find it so I can give her credit. She's gorgeous. But it's representation. Like, I love talking about natural hair. So the next episode is definitely going to be Issa Rae. I'm going to review that as soon as I can. I've been a little bit busy with work. But I can definitely say for sure that Oprah was a nice intro into the series. Tracee Ross, what a great idea to executive produce this. And like I said, like, the main thing is that we need more representation. Like, I just did a cosplay for a character that no one has ever done before. So to have people sit there and be like, thank you, I'm just like, wow, I've done nothing. But I want to keep giving that representation. And Chloe Bailey, I'm very excited to hear about her perspective, because to be in the entertainment industry with natural hair, that's one thing, but locks, like, there are certain hairstyles that it's never going to be straight, so I can definitely say I'm excited to hear about Marcy Martin. I feel like I'm saying her name incorrectly. I'm excited to hear about her story, but definitely for sure, subscribe, share. It's Claire Haire.